Today is March 7th, 2025. At least it got a little better today. A little better. Okay. I was in Golden Corral and somebody walked by, said something about to these guys, tell your people not to say a word to her. They already taped these people, they photoshopped everything. We know. Duh. Duh. Hmm? Seriously, duh. FBI informant. See, I get tired of going over everything all the time. The cult and the drug cartel want you to think you have no rights. They're pulling scams on people. Even last year, investigators said if she ever moves away, we will have to tell people or tell the police in that area the drug cartel's running scams on people. It's a cartel. You know the Sixth Amendment. You have a right to a fair and speedy court trial. Hmm? Notified of all charges. Hmm? Jury trial. Hmm? So they're a scam. I can't believe the morons in this area fall for it. Morons. They took their illegal stalking tapes of photoshopping and washing and drug confessions by the drug cartel and heard him in court, found me guilty, that she has charges, and she was awarded all the money she ever gets to them. My God. And nobody told her. So don't tell her. See, these idiots would hand over to those drug dealers everything they got. And when they talk to the real place, they say you've been scammed. You know better. Fourth Amendment. I go over this all the time. The right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person. Nobody can touch you unless you want to. They want them to. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Your home can't be violated. Like the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, they did the biggest mistake. They did it in your home. It's a fraud scheme. This whole thing is fraud. The whole thing is fraud. It's a big fraud scheme. Everything is fraud. Oh, that agent knew that. Think about that. Your papers, your place. Okay, then go back into the Fourth Amendment. Your papers and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Your home can't be violated. No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause, warranted, that's a court order, with the oath or affirmation of people, places, or things to be searched or seized, to actually watch you in your home. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order, like Officer Reinhardt in Louisville. I don't care what they got. I don't care what they say. I don't care anything. Tell that agent agree to protect you and have statements of threat of life from everyone in that home. He had to have a court order too. Even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home. Criminal attorney, Stark County Prosecutor's Office, and police departments I talk to. It's a big fraud scheme. Now, if you want to talk about the drug cartel running a fraud scheme on me, you're a moron. Besides, you turn them in so they don't do it to you. It's a big fraud scheme. You have a right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. You also have the right to a fair and speedy court trial, notified of any charges, because you actually have to be there. You know, for you to actually get charges, the police would have to speak to you. You don't have to talk to me. You have a right to remain quiet. You have a right to an attorney to speak for you. You go in front of the prosecutor's office, same thing. They take you in front of a judge. And guess what you get there? Charges. What do they have to weigh out between your attorney and the prosecutor's office and the police? The evidence, if it's admissible. Then you actually get a trial date. You have a right to an impartial jury. Hmm? Hmm? You have to be found guilty or innocent. And that's where the charges stick or don't. Then to actually get money for something, you have to be sued for it. Same thing. Can you basically put charges on somebody, find them guilty, nobody tells them? Award them all your money for the rest of your life to go to them in a corner for that, and the person don't know it? There's no such thing. See, these idiots, where December 18th, 24, some guys had walked in to Walmart 62, okay? They said she had charges. Somebody else says it's just the drug cartel. So we called up the Ravenna courthouse. They said there's nothing against her. It's a cartel. There's nothing anywhere. Get it? I have one traffic ticket. From 1989, paid it. Notary. Got it. What's wrong with this? They're all just lying. Oh, and then there's scam. An attorney did it before. Attorney would never be allowed in my home before. For one thing, they're not partial. It's right on Google. If attorney tapes you unaware in your home before, they lose their license, go to jail, and have to compensate you. Cyber stalking. Fourth Amendment constitutional right. And then think of the thing of a shyster attorney being in with a Florida drug cartel. Drug beating, raping women in their home. Selling kiddie porn of little kids going potty. Drugging people for fake confessions and photoshopping of showering, I heard in the other room. In a drug scam with the drug cartel. Scamming people? My God. Give me a name. See, that's going to be my new motto. Give me your name. Because it's not an attorney. It's a drug cartel lying. Just like they lied they were the Portage County Sheriffs. Or law enforcement up there. So I went to the Ravenna police. Chief of police called me back. He said, I asked every one of my officers. Call them in my office. They had nothing to do with that. Oh, yeah. Went to the Portage County Sheriff's. Met with the sheriff. Inside a recorded room. Miss Hall, what these people did is illegal. Was none of our officers in your home before. We weren't in your home or anybody else's home outside a protected light case. I said, with statements, yes. It's the Fourth Amendment, yes. And what these people did is illegal. I said they're supposed to have a shower scene and me washing in the other room to make me look for it, that's illegal. I had bruises throwing up. In fact, they said they were the ones drug beating, raping me. They were drugging me for fake confessions. I never seen or talked to anybody, but I did have bruises, and I was seen by the doctor for all that. That is illegal. And they said they have sodium pentothal reports, true serum. They're supposed to drug me and told me to say weirdo stuff. That's illegal. And I said I had to be seen by the doctor, and I thought it was the well water giving me cancer. He said everything these people said they did is illegal. It's racketeering, cyber stalking, sextortion, kiddie porn of little kids going potty, human trafficking, rape, kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon. Where do we want to go? How many life sentences you want? Put your name on it. I have no charges. I could go to the Ravenna courthouse and say, what is this that I'm hearing going on? That there's some kind of weird court order giving out my money. They say, Miss Hall, someone's lying to you. There's no such thing. What is this that I'm supposed to have charges? I've never been prosecuted. They're lying. It's a cartel. Huh? Do you know what's at the Ravenna courthouse? My divorce, my alimony, and at Abigail Watkins, Portage County Prosecutor's Office for the victim activist. The lady officers met with a guy for carrying around the house. The FBI case. They call it that or Karen's Bow. Some guy said they left a little tiny file with how to get a hold of them if I needed something. So, or even the rich one now. Melissa's kids were taped saying they made everything up. Melissa taped telling them to lie. And on Thanksgiving of 18 that they wanted the house for Auntie Shaw and Papa. And later on they made everything up. They're documented in games of pretend. The Stark County Sheriffs even confessed they knew they were lying. Back in 21, they knew in 18. For we worked the case that agent opened, that informant case that we watch her. They have to tape and document everything every day for that PI case. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office, you don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs, Karen. Informants are different. You stay yourself, you feed them information, you can tell whoever you want. That agent don't have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He's just a police officer. Hire one, but a police officer. He's a judge. First Amendment, freedom of speech. Not even Congress can create a new law taking your freedom of speech away. Congress can't. Or your right to a religious belief. It takes a judge during a jury trial only. He was only bullying you. The police know that. Well, he already told them. He confessed he did on a recorded line. He can't tell you, but you can tell whoever you want. And he can't open his mouth. And court orders for informants and witness protection programs are guidelines. And he can't make up his own rules, and no judge could sign it. It's illegal. It was illegal for him to even say it. He's only bullying you. Police know that. Get the money for working the case and risking your life to get them information. And then tell the FBI, put you in another witness protection program. You'll stay informant for life. And you'll be in immunity for life. And get the money for the rest of your life for risking your life to get them information. And they owe you. It was part of their mega case. We all were here in Ohio. But where were they coming around to mock? under police surveillance? They're laughing in my face. For we all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. They were saying it the other day in Walmart 62. We were hoping she wouldn't mention in the car, Melissa's family, her dad's, that they're Iraqis and how rich they are. It was her family that actually hired them. It makes more sense. Mark would he bragged for years that his family came from like Iraq or Iran. Okay? Large oil fields. They're mega rich and they're Muslims. So it would make more sense that an ungodly rich family paying to help an occult get away with a scam. Yeah. And let's see, Melissa got caught telling the kids a lie, and the kids stating they made everything up. Oh, and people were talking about that also in Walmart 62 the other day. She's supposed to be some kind of FBI informant. She was never prosecuted for those kids because they said the police taped them saying that they made everything up. How many times have they told you that? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and now it's 25. Are you slow? Do you have a learning disorder? Just like they said, they pulled a scam while they lied on her. So her attorney, she don't have one. There's, well, for her not to go to jail for obstruction to justice? Interfering in an FBI case? Huh? People were talking about it in Carrollton last week. There was people down here for that Melissa and her grandkids. And we talked to the police, and the police looked it up and said those kids were taped saying they made everything up. That Melissa needs to go to jail for obstruction to justice. Oh, yeah. And if her family did pay for that Iraqi in the Texas group that killed so many people to come here, she needs to be prosecuted. We're talking like 9/11 kind of jails where they waterboard you. You hire a foreign national to kill and sell U.S. citizens. You're going to be in there with those terrorists that like took down the towers. Are you fucking crazy? You think them torturing me was bad? Those CIA agents can show them levels of torture they've never known. By the way, show them the rape and torture. What they did to me. Or you torture them, CIA. Seriously. People aren't even thinking about this with a rational mind. A rational mind. Oh, Melissa's attorney got all the money awarded to them, and she's got a court order to get all her money from now on. No one wants to tell her. I'd have been found guilty and sued for it. Never happened. Why? Because the police taped her telling her kids to lie. And her kids stating in a legally bugged house during an FBI investigation that they made everything up and they were games of pretend. Huh? You can't just make up shit on somebody and steal all their money. Are you that stupid? See, that occult thinks everybody's stupid. You don't get court orders for lying on somebody, making out some mean jokes, huh? And then you can steal everybody's money because you lied on them. Are you that fucking stupid? Hmm. Now, do I have any charges? No. Like they said in Walmart 62, the police taped those kids saying they were lying years ago. That's why nothing ever happened. Duh. I mean, duh. Duh. How many times? Officer John stopped goons at the door. January, was it 12th, 22? Walgreens, North Main, 4:55 p.m. What those kids get caught stating? They made everything up. October 5th, 21 in Huntington Bank, they're talking about that bitch line again. And they've been talking all kinds of about her line in 21, and I'm like whinging. Standing there with a client. We go to leave. He's like, who's that crazy Melissa? They all talk about lying everywhere we go. I said the ex-daughter-in-law friends with the ex's girlfriend. Had the kids make up some mean games of pretend on Thanksgiving of 18 in front of the cops. He's like, they're still talking about that girl lying. She's crazy. I said, I know she is. Okay. Thanksgiving of 18. Okay. You can ask the sheriffs to look it up. They have a video of it. Documented. The FBI knows it. Hmm? Oh, they were trying to tell people that FBI is helping them steal money from her. No, they're not. Oh, no, they're not. Who do you think you're fooling? They put people like you in jail. Okay, Thanksgiving of 2018. John and his kids and my family's there. The little ones are playing boo in the basement. We had a split level. I had a family room, bathroom, laundry room, TV, sectional couch. They wanted to scare everybody, so they take one person down at a time, jump out, yell, boo. My turn to go down. They did their little go third step up, like man can and man 19. If you didn't hear John's kids right on the third step up, Karen, you knew where I was standing because it's so longer. Dave's girlfriend in the show. It's Michelle. Okay. The house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shaw and Papa. Grandma needs to get out. I look down, they're all in a huddle, rubbing their hair, laughing, saying crazy crap. I go up and I sit by Dixie and the baby. Flora, my other granddaughter that was down there, comes running up there saying mean things in the basement. I go right up to John. It's like, oh, hell no. I'm like, John, what's going on? He's like, I don't know, Mom. He said, I told Melissa. That's his ex-wife of only about 3 months. They didn't start divorcing until May, end of May of 18. This is Thanksgiving of 18. Okay. He said, I told Melissa that you're going to be going through a divorce and moving out. She'll have the kids make up something. But don't worry about it, Mom. Nobody could say anything bad about you. It'll just be made up. Oh, she'll probably have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it. Nobody could say anything bad about you. It'll just be made up. And it's going to be because you're going through a divorce and moving out. I said, well, you shouldn't have said anything until it happened. But I did. And since nobody can say anything bad about you, and it's just going to be made up, don't worry about it. And he like shoots me. So I confront Dave. It's like, Dave, I call him on the phone like within a day or so. Legally bugged house, legally tap phone. And I'm like, Dave, I've never hurt anyone. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. The police had a huddle in the beginning in the front of Walmart 62. I go in. They're all talking. Why are they having those kids make all that shit up? They're just trying to scare her out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. That was right after Thanksgiving of 18. And by Thanksgiving of 18, I had went to all my family physicians. What did they tell them? Was the medication error made just like before? Medical malpractice. The cops are right there. They told them it was fraud. They were ripping me off. They told them. It was documented in 2002 by all family physicians and then proven in 2003, and then for several years afterwards encouraged me to sue them because they were defrauding me. They wrote it up as fraud. Okay? So my part of the case is over, right? And by December 9th, 18, Dave admits that I never caught him with anyone. There's no one to be mean to or threaten. Never caught him. My part of the case was over. Thanks. Christmas Eve of 22. I go to Danny and Jen. I asked him, I said, did you know where they kicked in my door on the 6th day while we were at the storage unit? Yes. Dave said it was a realtor passing out keys, don't report it. Yes. Did you know about bot and camera stalking me? No. I said, did you know about a shower scene in the other room of me washing myself to make me look weird? Photoshopped in another room of me showering, washing? She's like, no. I said, did you remember the orange, lemon, and grapefruit sized bruises all over me? Do you know how bad my muscles are from being beat that bad with no memory? Do you know how sick and bio unable these people are? I said, did you remember the but I said, what I said to her was, do you remember the orange, lemon, and grapefruit sized bruises all over me? Yes. Do you remember I almost passed out in front of the neighbor by the second week? Yes. It kept happening and throwing up. Yes. Did you know they were drugging me and beating on me? And tell me, say weirdo stuff I heard? No, I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. I didn't know. Kids came out of the room and hugged me. Grandma said, what's going on? And I asked him, I said, did you hear of, with this one guy they call Eric? They said it was him on November 18th, 22, came in Walmart 62. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it for all these people to turn on it, and they fell for it. Some other guy went, well, I was telling you I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. I said, do you know anything about that jackass? No, but if he confessed, he's probably long gone. I went to the twins another time. I said, I've never done anything bad or wrong. That's the truth. Always been good to you, yes. Same with Joshy's girl. Went to Joshy. I've never done anything bad or wrong. Never said you did. What's wrong? June 23rd of 21 to July 4th of 21. Walmart 62, the same investigators from 18 were by the paint aisle. Okay? In that area. What are these people talking about? We interviewed our whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anyone. Girls that dated the drug dealers. Oh my goodness, the boys had to drug her to make her say that stuff. March should be around March 23rd and 23. Walmart 62, same investigator screamed at these people. We told these people to stay out of this. We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anyone. Nobody's ever seen anything. And it's just some lady thought she could make some money out of this. They told you they interviewed my whole family, that I had never hurt anyone, and nobody ever seen anything. It's just some woman thought she could make money out of it. Now think about that. And to stay out of this. Some shyster, some drug cartel thought they could make money out of it. In May of 21, I had left the state. I had went through Pennsylvania, and there was some guy named Kurt that was involved in this. They talked about him around me. They send their hate crime through cell phones, and this girls in this gas station look at their cell phone and said, "Oh my goodness, Kurt found out those kids were lying. He's gonna kill her." And they got in the car and ran back to Ohio. I'm like, "Kurt's slow." They said they were lying on Thanksgiving 18. Now I know the sheriffs watch me. I used to sit outside the sheriff's office, and sometimes the ones that were assigned to me would walk out and yell stuff. And I got back and I sat out there and I'm like, "Well, Kurt's slow." Two sheriffs walk out laughing. Kurt just found out those kids are lying. He is slow. Flora ratted him out, my other granddaughter, October 23rd, 2019, to a bunch of adults. Of course, it never happened. Of course, it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend. They're documented. Me games of pretend. Like Officer John said, January 12th of 22, 4:55 p.m. to some guys that were coming in Walgreens, North Main. Let those kids get caught stating they made everything up. I had went to my sister's in 21 in June. Okay. To the 1st of July. They were talking about Melissa lying in Kentucky and then in Illinois. The cartel followed me down to my sister's again. Okay. People are walking by calling me bad names. The woman that almost died to save her family, they're calling me bad names. I was so mad, I screamed out, "If you don't believe I'm innocent, call the Maslin Police," yelled out their phone number. The street went quiet. Off in the distance, some guys said they're documented. Me games of pretend. She's never hurt anyone. How many times? How many times? It's a big fraud scheme. Fraud scheme. Like the prosecutor's office said, it's a big fraud scheme. He said, "Karen, what these people did is a fraud scheme. They did the biggest mistake. They did it in your home. It's a right to privacy. Police and agencies can only be in a home under threat of life with statements in a court order. No, there's nothing else." Okay? He said where you had all the signs of being drugged, being raped, seen by the doctor for those injuries. Somebody was harming you. Okay? He said, and they probably did drug you up until you say something stupid. We all know you're sleepwalking with those date rape drugs under somebody else's control. And you never seen her talk to anybody. And where they laugh in your face, or that they photoshopped you washing in the shower in the other room, they probably did. It's a fraud scheme. They did the biggest mistake. They did it in your home. It's not admissible. In October, November of 21, I had took a client to Maslin Stat Care. Okay, Altman Stat Care on Wells Road. Maslin officer comes in uniform. I'm here to watch her. There's a Steve and Eric stalking her, and we don't know who they are yet, and it's actually funny. Nothing they have is admissible. Of course not, it's the Fourth Amendment. Hmm? It was like Officer Mark said, in August of 23 on a Tuesday. It was around the 17th. Actually, 17th to the 23rd. Okay. It's documented and verified. She was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in her home before we seen them. It's documented and verified it was a medication error that made her sick before, and another woman was even using her insurance. And that none of this is funny. It's a drug cartel. Okay, from the beginning of the case, and they said that little white man that said he worked for Dave and was drugging me up the first month of the case. He runs around lying to people. The police need to get him. He's drugging people up in their home. He's dangerous. He's part of the Florida drug cartel. Okay? A little white man came up the first month of the case. Woke up with a bruise, throwing up, and almost passing out, and I had to get well enough to go down Walmart 62. Old white man walked up into Wood Forest. To me, looked me in my face for every idle word you're telling us. I'll turn it on you. I'm like, who are you? You try to leave Dave unless you're a child molester. I'm like, who are you? You know that bruise on your leg? Yeah. I used sodium pentothal on you. No, he didn't. He stuck me in my sleep with a date rape drug. Woke up with another bruise. So, and then he said, you know what you said? I never talked to him. Didn't even know him. He admitted that he worked for Dave and he was drugging me up and telling me to say lies. Something about wearing a wrong nightgown, bending over properly, accidentally seeing her butt, life of pain threatens me again. I went home to Legally Bugged House. Had dated on. I didn't own that nightgown back then, and they only made fun of the back of my knees. I was dressed modestly. I made the whole thing up. They said that drugger is the one running around lying to people. In 23, now, I never even had my neighbors in my home. Before I called FBI, I had family repair guides and installation guides. The only two officers I talked to was August 8th of 18, a light in the security system at midnight 911 call came out and they were silly and told me I looked like an alien over an angry spirit and told me to buy a dog and let a dog have it. They didn't want bother. And if you look at the light in the security system in the dark, you see a guy with a flashlight. It was probably one of those idiots coming over to rape me. And I got him. I sat sick and they're telling me to buy a dog. The cartel in front of the cops. A minute they drugged me and told me to say all kinds of stuff. Where you had bruises before, throwing up and almost passing out, and severe infection. Wasn't the well water, it was us. We were drug beating, raping, and we drugged you up and told you to say weirdo stuff. We told you to say this, we told you to say that. We photoshopped all our lives. That's how they put it, too. We photoshopped a feminine wipey above the toilet to make you look weird. We erased some guy named Chris out of the room. Never had Chris in my house. They talked about him though. And they're laughing how they frame me. May 25th, 6 p.m., Louisville. I got two witnesses on my phone of the church people breaking in before, drugging me, telling me to say word on molester stuff. 8921 apartment building, forming second close offense. A lady and little girls live there. Okay, they've moved since then, but you can find out who they are. They were outside talking about it. 4 or 5 neighbors did a police report. They even, Melissa's kids even told them they were lying. They were outside laughing about it. People were complaining, Ken, those kids better stop telling everybody they're lying. Well, too late. The police already taped them. See where you thought that agent, where he went and told on me for calling the hotline for, he spoke to me after I called the hotline, where they drug me out for days and I couldn't get out of bed. He went around telling everybody I called the FBI hotline for help. Told him he didn't care they were drug beating, raping me, because the strangest baby lie. He was just going to turn me back over to him. Admitted on a recorded line he met with that family in his office and all those church people. And he knew they were trying to kill me because of the strangest lie and laughing at me like he's helping out murdering people for a ridiculous reason. Laughed at me for some guy named Pete. He told the police he was just acting that way, going after the drug dealers. Confessed he told on me to everyone. There was no staying quiet. He already told everyone. He's the one that told everyone. It's documented and verified the agent that returned my phone call from the FBI hotline was the one that told all the churches before he spoke to me. He told on me to everyone for calling the FBI. He already told everybody the FBI was involved. Get it? And he tried to act like he was going along with it for Strange's lie of faking you were sick, and he didn't blame her for trying to kill me. He said all kinds of crazy crap. Sounded like a Looney Tune. And like the police said, he told them he was only acting that way to fool them to get the drug dealers. See, they thought they all left. They thought it was only the cartel around me. I realized that in 18, Dave was sitting there confessing to crimes. And I'm looking around, this one top of a lampshade looks a little different. I'm looking around. I started to giggle. And he's accusing me of having all these men around me, that they want me. I said, trust me, they don't want me. I said, there's no man that wants me. And I thought, they're cops. Oh, then it hit me. Oh my God. He don't realize they're cops. Oh my God. And I start looking around the room. He don't realize the police and FBI is here. Even though that agent told me for calling. He don't realize I'm here. I had to stop myself from laughing. He thought it was just the cartel. Yeah. He fooled them all. They were laughing about it in Alliance. This is what's going on. That agent went around telling on her for calling the FBI hotline. Said he didn't care what happened to her. And they thought they laughed. He fooled them. He got them all under police surveillance confessing crimes. He got them. Oh, yeah. He fooled you. He fooled you. He scammed you. Like the police said, he was so mean to you on the phone because he knew everything was drugged and photoshopped. He told them that in 18. He wanted to make sure you weren't part of the people trying to defraud him. He was going to go after him. He even told the police that when he asked if there was a camera above the bench, and Karen said she honestly didn't know. And when he started screaming about it, she wouldn't change what she was saying, that she honestly didn't know. She told the truth even though it would sacrifice herself. And it wouldn't even save herself. She told the truth. She could have said, yes, there's a camera above the bench. But I didn't know. And I wasn't going to lie to him. And they said, Will realized Karen wouldn't lie to him that day. Because she honestly didn't know there was a camera above the bench. She could have said, oh yeah, there is. But she honestly didn't know. And she wouldn't lie to him. You know, if they wouldn't have drugged me up so bad, the real Karen would have said, I honestly don't know but I'll call you back in an hour. I'll go check. I told my boyfriend that. He said, that is Karen. Exactly. If I wouldn't have been so drugged up there, I couldn't think fast enough while he's yelling at me. Gotta think I couldn't even get out of bed for a couple of days. The real me would have said, sir, I don't know. Let me call you back in an hour. I'll go check. And then you can pull it. I'll go check for you. Got it? That's the real me. But with him screaming, you either say you're lying or I'll put you in jail, I was just like stunned because I'm trying to tell him about this guy threatening to knife me and the Pizza Hut lady getting paid to watch me and the chaos. And I'm trying to tell him he tried to kidnap me and he's screaming crazy crap at me on a recorded line. That even a church person seeing him trying to kidnap you before, they wouldn't admit to it. Well, that's why I didn't tell you about Terry Goberly. I have met with that family that lost their kid in that traffic accident. Had nothing to do with it. And they were bullshitting you, playing them like a fool. Didn't affect them either way. They thought you were a moron. It's 15 years later and somebody calls me a faker 6 months after a traffic accident. Had nothing to do with, and they're already vacating to Florida buying big trucks. Huh? Jet setting? And somebody calls me every 8 word, it didn't affect them at all. It didn't even concern them. They're using their family's tragedy to help kill people. They were playing him like a fool. I know they're trying to kill you, and he says strangest line. It's like, look, I really was sick. Dear God, I almost died from medical malpractice. But he would have known that. He's the federal government. He would have known about Altman Family Physicians. He would have known they documented it as medication errors, medical malpractice, and fraud. He would have known that. He would have known about the insurance fraud of that other lady using my insurance, too. It's the federal government. They know everything. See, he knew all that. Where he said he was just acting that way to get the drug dealers they hired. Because you got to think of a cop that dirty. Going around, you call the hotline, they pick up your case, and they run around telling everybody you call the FBI hotline. My God, that's obstruction to justice. Tampering with evidence and witnesses, screaming at me like that. There's battery laws. Admitting he told on a victim calling for help. Laughing how the cult's trying to kill him for a pathetic lie. He knew the Vegas were playing him. It didn't affect him either way, them lying on me. And 6 months later, he makes up that ridiculous lie. They wait 15 years to kill me? Come on now. They were playing him like a fiddle. And they're playing the rest of you. That's why in 23 they showed up and run a date at a winery. Got alcoholic drinks, toasted and smirked at me and walked off. Gotta think Lighthouse Tabernacle made fun of FBI agent on how they pulled him with their stunning tapes before publicly mocked him. They think he's a coward. They think he's a fool. And he's more cunning than what they think he is. He tricked him. They thought he laughed. That's where the marshals showed up in 23. Blew the hell out of the cartel. The FBI already got Judge Peters in Florida. And 100. Where they were up here with drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. We worked for Judge Peter. Michelle, she was Judge Peter's daughter. Told everybody that. The people that were impersonating the FBI at Faith Valley Church. The ones that raped and tortured me. The one that tortured me July to September 19 with a stalker and an old fat white man. You told everybody it was FBI. The FBI definitely needs to get him. Going around raping women and torturing them in their homes. Rode with the Florida drug cartel. Because he was cartel. Do you want me to keep going over the drugs in frame from January 19th, 22, February 2nd, 22, drugs in total say before, midday framing, March 24th, 22, March 1st to 3rd of 21, they put two clips together, put her in a porn, it's not her, it's them, and what you're describing is showering, ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did, May 12th, 22 at noon, and May 26th, 22 at noon, found tapes of them admitting a shower scene in the other room. They made fun of the FBI, June 7th, 23, how they fooled them. Sold videos of it to even children, even the sheriff's in uniform. We all know this thing's a mess. We all know they made fun of Agent John for falling for it. We all help watch her and work that FBI case. They'll tell you flat out they do. Like my friend that worked at the prosecutor's office, you can never get out of protective custody. They could wait and try to kill you again. Well, the place had said in 18 that Will set it up that no one would ever touch her again in her life after what those people did to her. Now, Agent John, where the marshal showed up, where my friend Matt lives 2.5 hours away, knew about the case the agent opened. Got all the marshals, they showed up January 20th, 23. In Worcester. Had Maddie question me in front of him and drilled me. Walked outside, and they announced they were there and they were going to take care of him. And they've been blowing the hell out of him. Got an 800 people arrest within 2 weeks. They're badass. Huh? And how many hundreds of children have they found? Where they say my case is a nationwide human trafficking scam? The major FBI human trafficking scam. Karen around the house, Karen's Will, up in Akron. We all know her case is part of it. They laughed in my face. For the Kingsman from Texas to Judge Peters' group with Henry Maffei with part of them. The Florida human traffickers, Michelle, and that group's still here. Some of the Kingsmen are still up in Fairlawn, and some of the Florida group up there. Faith Family Church would even know who Michelle is. I'm sure Officer Mark and John knows where she's at. Oh yeah. FBI informant, the police watch me. To the California, what drugs they were bringing here. Michigan, Buffalo, New York, Pennsylvania, North and South Carolina, Georgia. They would even announce if they were drug traders or human traffickers. Tennessee, Kentucky, Maryland, Virginia, all laughing in my face. I would have a brigade of cars 2 miles long around me. I'd leave here. The Florida drug cartel would parade through town. My one co-worker, Lori, her friend got killed in Canton. Said it's bad as when they took my family member. And they laughed in my face. They tied her up and cut her up with pieces. And they laughed at me how they killed her. I'm like, people are sick. Like, it's funny they raped her. So videos of them raping me to children. And she showed me a picture of her. She was beautiful. I sat down and I said, she lives in Louisville. I said, did you see the big truck guys a couple years ago in Louisville? Yeah, they were in the bars. I said, they said they were from Florida. Yes, they did. They said they were drug traders. Yes, they did. Did you know of Henry Maffei? Sounds about right. He was with them. Show the picture from Facebook. That's not him, but he was with them. Good idea. And I have the heart to tell her she was drinking with her family members, kill her. She said, I asked her, I said, did you know about the guy in the white van? How'd you know about the white van that took my family member? I have the heart to know. Just like my house manager at the time, we were talking at my other job. And she said, you know, the guy in the white van, the tall white guy with the black hair. It's like, that's my kidnapper. And she said they took my niece on Christmas Day of 2018. Authorities know he's a tall white man with black hair, working with that other guy. and he's Latino descent. And with a big truck, guys, and other people to get people go out of stores, and they grab them. They're the drug traders that are human trafficking people out this area. They know all about them. Oh, they have them under police surveillance with a court order, harming me and running in the scam. Faith Family Church. That's where my neighbor Keith went to the U.S. Marshals. He's seen them at Faith Family Church. The big truck guys. Michelle was there, 3,000 people. She told everybody she was Judge Peter's daughter from Florida. She was a judge's daughter. Well, they told everybody they were from Florida. Then a couple of them told them they were FBI. Okay, working my case. They weren't working my case. They were drug dealers. They were the ones harming me, stabbing me in the neck, bashing me in the back of the head, being raping me, leaving me for dead, 12/21/18. They were the ones laughing that they were human trafficking me. Was being raped by strange men. They were the ones torturing me July to September 19 also. And you need to check the shooting night of Christmas Eve of 2018. And they were laughing that how they brained me before. It was a Florida drug cartel. I faced 6 stalkers. I was almost shot in the head driving. Throughout, I lost 70 pounds being so drugged up there after I called the FBI. I was human trafficked, and I wake up and strange men would be attacking me, and the road go black. Wake up with I barely had enough money to eat, and I would have to go half drugged up and then being raped and try to work, and I couldn't concentrate. And they'd have people show up and call me stupid. If it wasn't for my neighbors at times, I would have starved to death in protected custody. After I moved out, I was raped and tortured July to September 19th. The one guy raping me is part of the Florida human traffickers. He told everybody what's up here. Every family church. They saw videos of but she told everybody she was Judge Peter's daughter. She could control those guys. So what happened? She could have everybody drug being raped. And they told everybody in the mall they were drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. And they were relocating people to Florida to a resort area. If you look at Judge Peter's arrest in Florida, and it was Disney, the resort area, and they got about 100 people with them. See, there's real people. If you listen how they describe themselves. There's supposed to be 3 doctors involved, youngest one named Henry. That's part of them. I hope you get them. They're supposed to be running experiments on people down there too. They talked about Maslin and then in Melbourne, and they would even tell me that doctor was waiting outside for me and wanted to talk to me. So I'd find someone to talk to and leave through a different door. I'm not stupid. End up that way. The FBI needs to get them. There's a lot more. For Michelle and the Florida human traffickers that didn't get arrested are still here that work for her. They announced in January she did all this to take over the drug cartel. Got her dad arrested. The Kingsmen from Texas, the Rocky group, are up in Carolina. They talk about the king, where they talked about the king in Louisville. Why would a king and his men watch her? She don't have nice enough clothes to wear to meet a king. He's a drug dealer. He's not a real king. He's a fentanyl king. And I was their big scam. They talk about the king up in Fairlawn. And there's all kinds of Texas plates. And Florida. I've been reporting that they're up there for about a year now. Where they were all down here in between Ravenna, Belton, Kent, and Louisville. They're now in Fairlawn. Okay. I seen a bunch of them in North Canton. The marshals found 32 children they still had captive up there. Every time I see them, I report them. Anybody I know connected to them, there's pockets of people they took, they're still held being captive in Ohio. If it was your mother, your son, your daughter, your niece, your grandchild, your spouse, what you want somebody to turn them in. I almost died to save my family. The police that worked my case have told me in front of people in Walmart, you need to be proud of what you lived through because of what you lived through. We got all this information on these people. You helped save a lot of lives. My neighbor Keith went down to the U.S. Marshals because he's seen those people at Faith Family Church. He met one of the guys they saved. Okay. I cried for like a day. I had lived through hell. I like my money, Agent John. We all know you told on me before you talked to me. You can best on a recorded line. You fed me to the cartels so that you could get them to confess and then stand up in court with them. And you helped save a lot of lives. And a lot of bad guys went to jail because of this case. Because they break under police surveillance. I'd like my money. I need to help my family. I actually would like a new name, new car, phone, not bugged by the cartel. The life of peace. They're supposed to come back and kill me if you remember. For when they find you alone, they'll take care of you. They have a field picked out south of Ravenna to cut up your face and stab you to death. That's how you'll die. They play with you. I don't want to die like that. It sounds painful. And what is this with putting a body in a field? We're not even going to go there. That's sick. Got something that horrible. But these people laugh how they dismember people, and they actually do. They have found mass graves of human trafficking victims of severed heads, dismembered bodies. Where do you think they do with all these people? In 21, the human traffickers in the United States sold 526,000 people. 500,000 people were taken. There's 2,900 children taken every day. Still. The only way to stop them is to report them. And everyone you know involved. They sell people, the ones that for Florida, they're selling people for like 25 grand a piece. What do you think about that? Like the prosecutor's office is $1 billion a year job. $1 billion a year business selling people. Actually on Google it's 12 to 41 billion just for human trafficking without drugs. For cartel. They're billionaires. Do you understand? They kill people for livings. They're the scary people in scary movies that are here in real life. And when you stop acting like that damn fools, start realizing what you're really on is killing people and selling them. Agent John, I'd like my money. And I need the other stuff. And probably a safer place to live. At least not by the cartel. You know what I mean? And my money to help my family. They fled the country in 23. And the marshals were blowing the hell out of everybody. Go marshals, you're badass. I'm gonna upload this.